Evening, everyone. It's Tarot Thursday, and I'm Reverend Mary Honk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And how are you tonight?
I'm good.
I'm glad to hear that. And so, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and post them in chat. We'll be happy to do a 3-card, more or less, spread for you.
Yes.
So, how is the weather in central Illinois? Still
At this point,
snowy?
it's still nice. Yeah, it's. Let me see what the temperature is right now. Right now, it's not telling me. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah. Look, it looks like it's in the 30s at this point. And so
Yeah.
it's. But today was still pretty nice. Started to cool down a little bit, but I understand tomorrow we have snow.
Yeah. Hi, Renee. Good
Hi,
to
Renee.
see you. And Renee would like a general reading. We can do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, you can go first if you would like to.
Okay. My first card is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords suggests that there may be an important decision coming up in the near future. It may be a decision of which way to go with something or how to go with something, but an important decision, not quite ready yet, but coming in the future. The Princess of Wands is a situation almost ready to go, but not quite there. So it's saying, yeah, this decision is coming up, but it's not quite in front of you yet. And the Queen of Swords says to trust your past experience in making that decision. And you may tend, with the Princess of Coins, you may tend, as you look at it, to hold back from taking unnecessary chances. And that's what I would say for you.
And to round out the princesses, I have got the Princess of Swords. And she is saying, be careful in your communications in this situation. So be sure whatever you say, it cannot be or write or post, it cannot be misunderstood. I have Judgment, which means you're going to be reaping something you've been working towards, but it also can mean you're going to be left at loose ends. And then finally, I've got the Moon, which suggests that you may need to bring some magic to bear on the situation. So I hope that's useful, Renee.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll throw a shout out to Reverend Brian, who is in Las Vegas celebrating his bachelor party. He said he would pop in and say hi, but we'll see if he's in any shape to.
And Renee says, yes, it helped. Thank you. Thank you, Renee.
You are welcome. If anyone else has a question for us, go ahead and post it in chat.
So how are things where you are?
It was up to 70 today, and I had to turn the heat off. And then while we were eating dinner, we're like, it's cold in here. Oh, yeah, I turned the heat off at noon, didn't I? So, yeah, we did that.
I figured we were going to get a little bit more winter weather because for here, in this locality, Candlemas was a very nice day, which tends to suggest there's more winter coming. I know that it was different for Punxsutawney Phil, but I'm not in Punxsutawney, and I'm sure that that the prediction Punxsutawney Phil made for his location will be good, but doesn't seem to be working here.
You know, we have snow in the forecast again.
And hello to Lunar Phase in the chat room. Good to see you.
Hi, Lunar Phase. Welcome. And again, if anyone has a question, please go ahead and post it for us.
Well, they're talking snow here as well. And hello to Tracy in the chat room, who says it's rainy in Oregon.
Wow. Well, that's to be expected in Oregon, though.
Still good to know.
I'll just add, take a look at our website, divinationtv.com. Still under construction, but we're adding on to it. And if you'd like to book a private reading with either me or Reverend Dawn, you can find our information there. And I'll be adding, hopefully we'll get the YouTube and the Stream TV going on there in the next few days.
And hello to Zane in the chat room.
Hi, Dragon. How are you?
And Lunar Phase would like to ask about their career path currently.
Okay, we can do that. And hello to Jason and hello to Steve.
Jason, it's been so long since I saw you last.
Probably at least 15 minutes.
Pretty much exactly, yeah.
I have a jumper.
Mm-hmm.
I have two jumpers.
Wow. And Jason says it was a great dinner. Yeah, we made spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
It was.
I had boiled eggs and cottage cheese.
Spaghetti and meatballs was better. Maybe not. I don't know. I've never had that.
I have to watch my blood sugar when I'm going live later on.
Ah, yes. No, all
Okay,
right.
you can go
Are you
ahead.
going first?
You start it.
Well, the first card I have is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is illusion, and it's saying to be very cautious of what you're dealing with and make sure that you truly understand it. And you can see in the picture that the man is being terrorized by phantoms, but they're only phantoms, and they are illusions that are haunting him. With this card, you want to not take things at face value and look below the surfaces. With it, we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is not really being happy with your situation. I would incline to think things maybe aren't going extremely well. It's followed by the Five of Swords, which is conflict, which kind of adds to that. And I wouldn't consider any of those to be positive cards, which is not particularly good. So let me draw another card. And I've drawn the Prince of Swords to go with those. And the Prince of Swords says that in dealing with this situation, which again does not look very happy, you want to make sure that you're minding your own needs. Make sure that you have a good, healthy dose of selfishness, and that you're not giving away the farm. When I get the Prince of Swords in a reading, when I started reading, I read it in the more conventional way, which is that there was too much self-centeredness, too much selfishness going on. But what I've found is that when it comes up in a reading that I'm doing, it means that you need those energies, that you're being too maybe a little too generous, maybe a little bit too forgiving or too permissive, and you need to make sure that you're paying attention to your own needs and make sure that you are ensuring that you're getting what you need from the situation, because if you don't do it for yourself, it's not going to happen. So make sure you're minding your own requirements and making sure that you get them. And if you do that, it should come out better.
Okay. So the first card I've got for you is the Queen of Swords. Yes, it's me. When Reverend Don did the Kickstarter for this deck, one of the options was to commission a card. And I asked him to draw me as the Queen of Swords because that card has been coming up to represent me for over 25 years at this point. So this card is talking about learning from the past, overcoming your obstacles, and speaking your truth in this situation. So be very honest, especially with yourself, about what is going on here. The next card I've got for you is Strength. So this is talking about having the strength to deal with your situation, but it's also suggesting your situation is not moving forward right now. The next card I drew for you is the Seven of Swords, which means you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle right now. So with that being said and you feeling stuck, I did draw one more card for you. I got the Universe, and this card, it's kind of hard to see, but it is the starry sky. So this does mean you have infinite possibilities open to you. But you do need to get through your present situation. Well, I'm glad that's speaking to you. So I hope you found this helpful, Lunar Phase. And Elizabeth, welcome. I am here doing tarot every Thursday night at 9 Central and whatever time zone you're in.
And I'm here every now and then.
Yeah, he's with me about once a month. And you can check out divinationtv.com if you'd like to schedule a private reading. And Love Life is asking, how does my fiance's mom view me? with her eyes. And yes, we'll do a reading. I'm sorry, that was just too good to leave on the table. And I'm surprised Reverend Don did not say it first. You're very welcome, Lunar Phase.
Thank you, Lunar Phase.
You can go first.
Oh, okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is from the nature of the question, I was not necessarily expecting a particularly good answer, but actually it didn't come out badly at all. The first card is the King of Cups, which is a card of happiness, a card of general positivity. With it is the High Priestess, which is spiritual guidance. The Prince of Coins, which is slow but steady growth. And the Moon, which is, again, spiritual guidance, spirituality, magic. I would say that she views you as a spiritual person, and it seems to me that overall she's pretty happy with you, or is going to be happy with you. We do have slow but steady growth, so it may be that this is an increasing situation, but it looks very positive. So that's what I get.
Okay, and I'm going to start by saying I did actually shuffle the deck. But we have two repeats. So the first card I got was the 10 of Pentacles, which indicates a good foundation in the material realm with good material prosperity. We've got the Queen of Swords, which indicates, again, learning from past mistakes, growing from them, speaking your truth, and then strength. So I'm going to agree that your mother-in-law views you or will view you in a very positive light.
Which is a wonderful thing.
It is. And hello to Michelle and hello to Zella. Welcome, both of you.
Yes, indeed. And Love Life says, wow, that's positive. I thought she doesn't like me that much. And, you know, when you asked the question, that's what I thought the cards were going to show. But that's not what they show. So I think you're going to find that things are going to work out better than you expect.
You may grow on her, and you know what just came to my mind is an experience my brother had. He thought his mother-in-law did not like him, and it was not until her funeral when all her friends came up and talked about how highly she thought of him and how, as it became clear the end was approaching, she felt like she could rest easy, leaving her daughter in his hands.
Very cool.
Mm. Of course, you can have a general reading, Michelle.
And Lovelight says, thank you so much.
You
And
are
you're very
very
welcome.
welcome.
Am I going first again?
Sure, why not?
The first card I have is the Four of Lamps. And the tarot I'm using, the Tarot of Hecate, is a 100-card tarot, and it has an extra suit in it, the Suit of Lamps. The Four of Lamps is realizing that there's more out there that you need to see and understand. It is the feeling of wanting to grow, to expand, to move forward. And it's not exactly the act of moving forward, but rather the knowledge that the time has come. With it, we have the number 3, Magic, which is a pure white card, and it represents the ability to create that which you desire. And so it's saying that you may find yourself feeling like you want some new things coming into your life, like you perhaps want a little bit of a new direction, some new understandings, and you're very well situated to create exactly that. It's followed by the Four of Wands, which is success and celebration in community with others. Very positive card. And altogether, I would say that your whole situation should be pretty positive here. And will become more positive through your own actions. And again, you may find you're wanting some new things. You're wanting some doors to open. You're wanting some inspiration. And you will bring it about. You'll bring it into your life. And it will be good. And there you go.
Okay. Well, the first card I have for you is the Lovers. So this means you're going to have a choice to make. The next card I have is the King of Pentacles. So this means you have reached a point of stability in the physical world by working steadily. And finally, I have got Judgment, which means you are receiving something that you have been working towards. So I'm also seeing things that look very good for you right now. And before we do any more readings, I want to pause for a minute and mention our friends at Divine Intentions. Divine Intentions is a metaphysical shop in Western Kentucky, and they have been nominated in 3 categories in the Best of Western Kentucky. And we're asking people to please go vote for them. You can find the link at facebook.com/paganworld. Divine Intentions has been nominated in Best Gift Shop, Best Specialty Shop, and Best Home Decor and Accessories Shop.
Very good.
Yes. If you would please take a couple of moments and go vote. Thank you so much, Zella. It really takes just a couple of minutes. The first time you vote, you've got to put in your email, your name, and your phone number, then hit submit. Then you can vote in the other two categories. They can win in all three. Last year, this metaphysical shop in the middle of Western Kentucky, the Buckle of the Bible Belt, won in Best Specialty Store. And
Wonderful.
David and I did do a broadcast about it Tuesday night. You can also find that at facebook.com/paganworld. It would be a great win for a metaphysical shop to get all three or one or two. And the best part is someone who votes is going to win $100.
Yay!
Yay! So it really only takes a couple of minutes to go vote. You could win $100, and it would really help out a metaphysical shop. And they are a great shop. I'll also say just go look up Divine Intentions. They have a great line of merchandise. They ship out quickly. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Yes, you can shop online. So, and we'll leave that scrolling for a minute. All right. And where are we on readings? We had just done Michelle's. So next we have Zella and then Tracy. And they have both asked for a general. All righty. Michelle says, I'd rather have some goodies than the money. Well, Divine Intentions is not giving the money, but if you won the $100, you could certainly go spend it there. You can go ahead.
Now, the first card that I have is the Veil, which in most decks would be the Devil. And to me, this is materialistic worry or unnecessary worry. So you may find in the immediate future that there are some situations you may be worried about, but you probably could stand to worry less about it than you actually are. It's followed by the Nine of Swords, the ghastly nightmare card. And what I always say about this particular card is that, like a nightmare, it's not really going to hurt you unless you fall out of bed trying to get away from it. So whatever the situation is, whatever you're worried about, don't try to get away from it. Don't try to sidestep it. Face it head on, and you'll find it's much easier to deal with than you think it is. It's followed by the Magic card, which we were just talking about previously. The Magic card is the ability to work your magic to manifest the outcome you desire. So remember, you have that ability. Make sure that you focus on what it is that you want, not what you fear, and bring it about. And it's followed by the Six of Wands, which is victory. And so I would say if you find yourself worrying about this situation, and you will, remind yourself of this reading that the final outcome will be positive, and work on manifesting your desired outcome, and it will be fine.
Okay. So the next card first card I have for you is Strength. It's third appearance of the evening. So you do have the ability to handle your current situation. And the next card I have for you is the Chariot. So things may have been static for you, but they are starting to move. And then finally, I've got Temperance for you, which you can see here, a lot of duality in the Temperance card. Day and night, male and female, a white person, a person of color. And what this means is really taking a lot of little parts and making them into something larger than the whole. So I'm seeing a lot of good fortune for you. Things are moving, and be aware you're going to have to knit a whole bunch of little pieces together to make things come out the way you want them to. So I hope that's helpful, Zella. And then who came after Zella? Let me roll back up here. Tracy. Oh, thank you, Zella.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
And love and light to you as well. You might as well continue.
So, the three cards I have drawn are the Sun, the Four of Cups, and the Queen of Coins. The Four of Cups is being in a good situation, but not quite the situation you want to be in. There may be some things you'd really like to have that you don't. But if you stop and look at what you do have, it's not bad. So this is kind of a card that says count your blessings. Don't worry about what's not there right now. You might want to worry about how to get it, but don't obsess over its absence, but rather look at the good things that are there. And you're surrounded on one side with the Sun, which is success and happiness, and on the other side with the Queen of Coins, which is prosperity, stability, sometimes just plain old money. So it's saying that you're in a very good situation. It's just not everything you'd like it to be. And I'm going to draw one more card because, of course, I am. And I want to say that what may be happening is that you may have some mixed feelings about what you actually want. And so I would say take some time, some meditation. Ask yourself what what it is that ask yourself what it is that's missing and what you really want to fill that with. But what is there is very good. And there you go.
Okay. So I have drawn the Five of Cups, which indicates there is at least something in your current situation you're not very happy about. I have drawn Heart, which indicates there's something in your current situation that you're very emotionally attached to. This card shows lovers, but it doesn't have to mean lovers. But you do have a deep emotional attachment to something in your current situation. And then I drew Fortune, which just means you're going to get a piece of absolute good luck. And so, just to follow suit, I'll draw one more card, and I got Temperance. Second showing of Temperance for the evening. And so this is again, taking many different pieces and from them making together a greater whole. So I see a lot of good fortune for you as well, even if you're not feeling so great right now. So I hope that's helpful.
It's always interesting to read with these cards because I have so much memory of having made them. And I look at the artwork and remember how often there are so many colors that were layered one on top of another to get a particular effect, which was a very interesting thing.
Okay, I'm curious. What did it take to get the effects in this card? Six of Cups.
If I remember correctly.
You are very welcome, Tracy.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The light sky and the clouds were a little difficult because a lot of my markers at that point were not, they were dying. So it was a little difficult to get exactly the result that I wanted. So I had to go back over it several times. But I'm pleased with how it came out, and it came out with a kind of a pastel feeling in this card that I think suited it quite nicely.
Oh, it's a beautiful card.
It, I use an awful lot of different markers, and keeping them all working can be a thing. And I use alcohol markers as my preferred medium. And I can use other mediums, but I tend to like alcohol markers because they can be very precise, and yet you can get so many different effects from them.
You can. And they will dry up on you.
Yeah. I was never exactly the oil paint type. Oil paint is wonderful for shading and taking long periods of time to get exactly the thing you want, and that just is not me. I tend to work very quickly, and although I will put a lot of time in to certain pieces and go back over them several times to get the effect that I want, I don't want it to take forever while I do it. And hello to Brian in the chat room. We were talking about you.
We were wondering if you would pop in from Las Vegas. How's the Gordon Ramsay Burgery in Las Vegas? And hello to Selena.
Yes, indeed. Hello, Selena.
So how is the bachelor party, Brian?
Or does that news have to stay in Las Vegas?
Well, I'll get some private updates when he gets back, I'm sure.
Do they have spaghetti and meatballs there?
I'm sure you can. Now,
I'm
my
sure you can.
dinner of boiled eggs and cottage cheese might be kind of hard to replicate. But like I said, that's to keep my blood sugar from going up too high when I have to sit up late and read. I have pulled off some interesting readings when I was drinking, but I don't want to try and do it with high blood sugar.
No, no. You don't want high blood sugar at all.
I would prefer not to.
Okay. Since I'm only a guest, I will restrain my comments on that particular comment that just appeared. But I think it just disappeared, so.
Well, I blocked the person who put up that incredibly long, rambling post that I think was trying to sell something.
Oh, it was. It was. And, I don't know that. I don't know that we really need to say that a legitimate psychic or spiritual healer, while there may be a number of ways they will advertise, they're not going to just have people dropping it in the middle of a chat room on someone else's program or such as that. That's not really how you can tell the sign of quality.
Yeah. Hi, Selena. Well, we are about to wrap up for the evening, but we are doing 3-card more or less tarot readings. If you would like to post a chat.
Yeah, there are 3 cards more or less because I'm here and I just have that effect on things.
Yes, but Brian and I are learning from you, and when we are reading together, we now both tend to draw extra cards, and we always say we're doing it in your honor.
My work has been a success. My thought is that sometimes you just need that little bit more to perhaps define what you've already seen. Of course, when I normally do a card reading for people, I usually draw 9 to 12 cards for a particular question. It depends. It's never exactly the same, but I read the same way we're reading here. I draw a card and another card and another card and just keep interpreting. And I find it works very nicely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Selena. Selena says, Lord Don is an excellent teacher. I appreciate that.
Indeed, you are. When I was doing readings at the Pagan Pride Day fundraiser Sunday, because we wanted to keep people moving, I was starting with 5 cards and then going from there if needed.
Mm-hmm. I've been taught. My next book is Reverend Don's Book of Astrology. So I've been talking about astrology more than usual lately. And the fact that my sun sign is Gemini, but I rarely strike people as a Gemini. But I actually have a lot of Gemini traits, and one of them shows up in the way that I read and the way that I do artwork. I tend to try to work very quickly, or even not try necessarily, but it's just how I do it. And when I started doing tarot readings, I did all the big complex spreads like people do, but I found over time it just really wasn't the thing for me. The simpler, faster version worked better. And I found working in the psychic fairs was the best possible training. And I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to really learn how to do psychic readings, Because when you're in a psychic fair, one, you have to move quickly, and you're often in something less than ideal circumstances. I've read in the middle of crowded shopping malls, for example. But once you've learned to do that, you can read anywhere. And hello to Jeanette in the chat room.
Hey, Jeanette, thanks for joining us. I've
And
said
Selena. Oh, go ahead. I think
this,
we're about to say exactly the same thing.
no, I've said this before,
Oh.
but I once went to do kind of an interview to be a reader at a store, and she was concerned because basically I laid out the cards, I read on her question, I gave her an answer, and she wasn't sure. And the fact that I pulled it off in 15 minutes, well, what are we going to do? Most people like a 30-minute reading. And I said, well, I can do another question.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, when I after many years of doing readings in situations like this, I was asking myself, you know, can I do a longer format anymore? And I found that I could. I just had to let spirit guide me, and it came out very well. But I do find that I enjoy the faster readings. And I often tell the story about how when we had the museum in Salem, we did an event where we were giving 5-minute readings as a sample of what our different readers could offer. And there were people who were outraged by the idea. You couldn't get anything in 5 minutes, they would say. But actually, we had the opposite problem. We were doing so well in the 5 minutes that they didn't need longer readings. Their questions were being answered. But that's what happens when you spend many years learning how to get in quickly. And I think that it's a very useful skill to have. And hello to Shelley in the chat room.
Hi, Shelley. Well, and in the format we were doing, we had people buying tickets, waiting for readings. So we really needed to do a reading and get the next person in for a reading.
And that's very often the case, especially with something like a fundraiser like that, or you know, when I was younger and didn't necessarily read quite as quickly, I sometimes found myself taking a very long time to get to everybody who was waiting. And maybe that's part of why I learned to enjoy doing it quickly. I can remember some very long sessions. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it depends on your format and where you're at.
Mm-hmm. It does. We've got time for probably one more question if anybody wants to post one. Or we can chat about readings. Although my favorite still remains, where is my twin flame, my one and only?
Yeah, I also don't look at things that way. My attitude is that there are many possible people that you could have a wonderful situation with.
Yeah, I wound up lecturing this very young man out of the, I think, 3 or 4 billion people on the planet now. You really think there's only one person for you? Really?
I've known too many people who've had multiple happy relationships.
Exactly.
And Selena in the chat room says, practice, like all aspects of magic. And that's absolutely true. Practice is the best teacher. Going back to the years working in the psychic fairs, it was wonderful practice. And, you know, I know some people who just want but to read privately, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you'll never get the same level of practice and experience as you'll get doing something like a psychic fair, because you get people you would never have thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Selena has a question.
Yes.
I have a 7-year lawsuit. Might it end this year?
All right.
Oh. Well, that's better than I thought it was going to be. Shall I go ahead and continue the?
Well, let's not keep her in suspense.
So when I make the statement that it's better than I expected, it was because of the first card. The first card is the Eight of Swords, and you can see it's not a happy card. It's a card of feeling restrained or held back or even imprisoned by a situation. And if this has been a 7-year lawsuit, obviously this is referring to the feeling that it's taken forever. And so when this was the first card I drew, I wasn't necessarily expecting a particularly cheerful reading, but it's followed by Fortune. And Fortune is getting a gift from fate. And that is followed by the Six of Coins, which is help from another or help from fate. And so since the real question is this likely to end this year, I'm inclined to say yes. It looks to me like it will end this year. I'm going to draw one more card, however, because of course I am. Well, and I've drawn the Universe, which is basically the card of getting exactly what you want and everything that you want. So I would say that not only will it end this year, but it will end well for you. And there you go.
Okay, so the first card, and I didn't draw the Empress. The Empress jumped out at me. And overall, the Empress is a card of good fortune, very nurturing, a card of fertility even. So I see that as a very positive sign. I got the Princess of Swords. Swords are around communication. The princesses tend to hold back a little. So I would just say perhaps be careful in what you say about this. And then I got the Five of Lamps, which lamps in this deck is the suit of spirituality. And here we see someone going off on a vision quest. So we could take this to either mean it's the start of a journey for you, or perhaps it's time you pay a little more attention to spiritual matters. But either way, I see this as a fortunate reading.
Very good.
So, oh, Selena says that's your goal. All right, then. Then you're going to get your goal. So, thank you everyone for coming and joining us this evening. And I want to remind you to go vote for Divine Intentions at the Best of Western Kentucky Awards. And then also you can look us up at divinationtv.com if you would like to book a private reading with either Reverend Don or myself.
And Selena says, spiritual teachings is my goal. Maybe I'll actually finish witch school. Yay!
Oh, that would be cool.
And we want to say hello to Magic in the chat room, who asked earlier, are you a witch?
Are we witches?
I think we are.
I'm pretty sure we are.
I am one of the co-founders of witchschool.com. I have been the first priest of the Correllian tradition for 45 years, the last year in retirement. So, yeah, we are.
We are. I'm a priestess of the Correllian tradition, so I guess I'm a witch because Reverend Don says I'm a witch.
There you go.
So thank you, everyone. And
Thank you.
would you close us out with a blessing, please, Reverend Don?
Absolutely. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we ask you to help us to receive those messages that you send us, to follow where you guide us, and to move forward in happiness and joy in our lives. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you. And knowing you are always with us, but from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. And we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always also.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'll be back next Thursday with Reverend Brian, assuming he survives his bachelor party.